Hey everyone, Complex back with another video, and today we're back to Fallout 76 Wastelanders edition, and we're specifically talking about allies. With the Wastelanders update to Fallout 76, you can now have allies come to your camp. Now, these allies do have dialogue, and you can learn more about them while they're hanging out at your camp. And they also have their own quest lines that you get while they're hanging out at your camp. So today I wanted to walk you through everything that you need to know in order to get an ally, just to have one, and also then to get them set up at your camp. Now, the first step, of course, is going to be to acquire a quest in order to get an ally. They can come to you in a variety of ways, and you will notice them in your Pip-Boy or on the right-hand side of your quest log on your screen. For instance, I fast traveled to the top of the world to go visit Rose, and I got one of the ally quests. It kind of popped up as a like loudspeaker bulletin kind of thing as I was loading in, and then the quest was added to my Pip-Boy. So just keep playing the game. You should be getting them naturally. Now, after you get that, it's time to head on over and complete the ally quest. Now, when you're going through the ally quest, as a note, they aren't very quick quests. There are a few different stages to each of them, so just make sure you budget enough time for them when you're doing them. Now, towards the end of the quest, you will get some kind of conversation with your potential ally, and they'll be like, I need to know where we can hang out, where's a safe place for me to come and do X, Y, and Z, or whatever it is going to be for them. Then they'll give you a blueprint of sorts, and they'll tell you, hey, if you build this at your camp, I will know that, it's okay to come over and visit. Once that is done, it is time to head back on over to your camp and open up your workshop menu. You'll notice that now in between blueprints and floors, as far as the tabs go at the top, you now have a new one called allies, and you should see the object that they've asked you to build for them in order to signal for them to come and visit. Once you've gone ahead and built that, you should notice that your ally comes over and visits now. You can chat with them, learn more about them, you can get their personal quest line, and even in some cases romance them. One cool thing to note is that they will actually go ahead and wander around your camp a little bit. They might even use certain things that you have set up. Like I've noticed for myself, some of my allies that I've put at my camp, they've like sat in the chairs, this and that. I've even heard rumor that if you put an instrument down, they will play them. So just note that if you put any interactable objects within easy reach of their patrolling area, they will more than likely use it. So don't get startled if all of a sudden you start hearing an instrument being played very loudly at your camp. One very important thing to note is that you can only have one ally at your camp at a time, which means you can only have one ally camp object there to signal for them to come and hang out. You can't store whatever it is that you had built originally for that first or second ally. You actually do have to completely scrap it. So what'll happen is once you get your second ally, if you'd like to have them at your camp as opposed to the original ally, or you just want to start switching out allies after you've gotten a few of them, you have to scrap whoever is at your camp and then build the whichever ally you'd like. You just need to build their camp component. That'll signal to them to come over, and the other ally will disappear. Now, if you are having some trouble scrapping the ally at your camp's station, just note it's probably because they're interacting with it. You do have to wait for them to walk away, as your allies will patrol around the area and just kind of walk around your camp and use it a little bit. So wait for them to leave their station, and then you should be able to scrap it. Now, one very important thing to note within that, though, is that if you, for instance, scrap Beckett's stand and Beckett goes away, all of Beckett's quests go away. And then whoever you bring to your camp instead, their quests become active. Now, don't worry, you haven't lost those quests for one of the allies that you've scrapped. It is just basically put on hold until you bring them back. It will disappear from your Pip-Boy, though, as you cannot work on those quests unless you have that ally active at your camp. So once you bring them back, the quests should appear back in your quest log and you can continue on as normal. One thing to note is that if you switch out allies to an ally you've already had in the past and their quests aren't showing up in your Pip-Boy like they should be doing, there is a couple different ways to troubleshoot that. One is to just wait a few minutes or log in and out of your game to see if that brings it back. If it doesn't bring it back, one thing that you can do is completely scrap their little spot at your camp, bring a different ally in, and then just quickly scrap them. They don't actually have to go to their camp stand or anything like that. Just plop it down, then scrap it, and then build back whoever it is that you had wanted to bring initially. And that should kind of reset everything in order to put those quests back in your Pip-Boy log. So that is just one way that you can troubleshoot that. But otherwise, y'all, that's it. That is how you get an ally to come and hang out at your camp. I hope that you are enjoying the Wastelanders update and having a blast getting to meet all of the new people that have decided to come and hang out with us in Appalachia. If you have any questions in regards to allies or setting them up at your camp, leave it in the comments down below or find me on Twitch. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your night and or day, depending on where you are in the world, and I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.